I have been steeped in anticipation for news about the final season of The Bad Batch for a while now, and with the latest project announcements, I feel like news for The Bad Batch is just around the corner.
And my name is Captain Bruisin.
And you might be wondering,
what's in the box?
While we wait for the release date, I wanted to get the Marauder shuttle ready and put on display. When I was at BricsHopes last year, I got a chance to meet the team from Trick.Bricks, and I really liked what they had on display, so I wanted to give their product a shot. And to preface, this review is not sponsored in any way. I spent just under $60 of my own money when they were having a sale for everything that you see in this video. I wasn't sure what to get, so I DM'd them on Instagram, and they suggested the Max 30 and Classic Zero as preferred options. They even went out of their way to send a longer arm for the Bad Batch shuttle at no charge. I also grabbed a 6-figure display case so that the squad could have their own protected space. First impressions, the packaging is great, and you can tell a lot of care goes into every order, because every piece is wrapped in protective film to ensure no scratches occur in transit. The instructions are pretty simple. You start by peeling the film off, and a brick separator does help with this. Next, you assemble the pieces together, and I found that they make a clicking noise when they're fully secured in. The pieces slot in, and you can place the bricks horizontally or vertically depending on the ship. I first tried the shuttle on the Max 30, which did bring some challenges, because as every stand is universal, if you're not paying attention like I was, you're going to run into user error like I did here.
Bad play.
But once I gave it a closer look to figure out the right placement, I was able to secure it in place pretty easily. I do want to add that depending on the ship and stand, you may need to use parts from your own collection to help with the weight distribution, but it's more of a nice to have and not a need to have. And here is how it looks with the Classic Zero stand, and the longer arm truly makes it a perfect fit because you can position the wings to make it look like it's flying low. Next, I put the display stand together, and I started by putting the figs in first, and I even left a space for Omega so she can be with her brothers when I obtain her fig. The display stand was slightly trickier to assemble as the cuts made are extremely precise, so you have to be perfect with placement to get things to line up. Personally, I think any difficulty I had in assembling was user error. For example, here where I didn't realize that I had the piece upside down.
Well, I thought it was obvious.
But ultimately, I was able to get the connection secure. And the final piece, the top, was the easiest of them all. Overall, I'm really happy with everything. I can see how each stand would be better if it was made uniquely tailored to each ship. And while they do have a unique stand for the Millennium Falcon, I don't know that that's going to be a sustainable model for a business at a startup level. Perhaps as they become more established, I could see them going that route. But for now, as a universal stand that requires a bit of modification from your own parts, this works great. As for the display case, the assembly was straightforward, and it's pretty easy to lift off the top and access and change the minifigures inside. TLDL, I have no notes. And while I do eventually want to experiment with different ships, I can confidently say that Trick.Bricks does a great job and that I would recommend them. I think their product is great and the team is fantastic. And with that, it is back to waiting for news on the final season of The Bad Batch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.